Lucas from our Liberty House here. Welcome back. A little kitchen episode from us, and today we are going to be preserving the rest of our Swiss chard harvest, and by doing that we're going to be making a pesto. Beth actually made some last week as a little trial run. You can see here, just frozen, and we're going to do a bigger batch. So the first thing, I'll kind of go over the ingredients. Super simple. If you've ever made basil pesto, same thing, just Swiss chard instead of basil. So I got all the chard from our garden, some Parmesan cheese. We'll use about a half a cup of pine nuts. You can use walnuts, you could use cashews, just something nutty. Got a bunch of garlic, handful of garlic, 4 or 5 cloves. And then we have some frozen lemon juice, but I'd use about 2 tablespoons of lemon. So step 1 for this whole process is going to be just to really wash these. These have been in the garden all winter long, so we're gonna heavily wash them and then blanch them, and I'll catch back up with you guys. Nobody needs to watch me wash and blanch vegetables. Okay, real quick, while we are waiting for the water to boil to blanch these, I kind of want to talk about like when we harvest them. For this pesto specifically, is it's okay to have a little bit of the rim, but we don't want to harvest the whole rib line. It'll make your pesto a little fibrous, so a little bit's okay. You'll let the heat and the food processor work that out, but I wouldn't cut the whole limb. So just a little tip. Okay, so quick tip, if you're doing this in batches like we are, if you don't have a giant stock pot out, we're just gonna use a wire mesh strainer. And I will dunk this in. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but I'll just kind of put the lid over it. And I'm just gonna steam this and blanch it for maybe a minute. All right, everybody, we're back. I've got about 3.5 cups of blanched and drained Swiss chard here. I've got my lemon juice, like I said, about 2 tablespoons, a little bit of garlic in there already. I'm gonna put a couple more whole garlic cloves in there. I'm gonna sprinkle in a little bit, probably like a 1/4 cup of the nuts. And we'll put in, start putting in the Swiss chard. I actually have to do this in a couple batches. Let's see. All right. Cheese. Gotta finish with the cheese. All right. So let's just start blending. Like, this isn't an exact science, guys. We're just making a pesto. You're just gonna look for texture and consistency. So. Okay, we're back. Technical difficulties conquered. Some more nuts. All right, everybody, that's it. Just a nice, good, quick blended Swiss chard pesto recipe. Some of you might say we didn't put any oil in there, and that's fine. For our application, we like to freeze it without oil, and then when you go to use it, just make sure you add some oil and reconstitute it into a nice pesto texture. And so, like I said, we're just gonna drop this in some ice cube trays, and we'll freeze them up and then pop them out and put them in a storage bag until we're ready to use it. Appreciate you guys watching today. Do us a favor, like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be doing mostly gardening stuff, but also a little bit of preserving and in the kitchen stuff. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. All right, everybody, so tonight we're actually going to use that frozen Swiss chard pesto for a shrimp and linguine pesto sauce. And this is the frozen ice cube chunks of Swiss chard pesto. And I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of olive oil to it. Maybe a little less, maybe like 1/8 of a cup. And I'm going to defrost it, and we'll constantly reconstitute and stir it up, and that'll be our sauce for both our shrimp and the pasta.